Hey folks, welcome to Market Intraday Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leaders in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Thursday, April 2nd, 2009. Well, what a rally today on Wall Street, folks. We talked a little bit about being careful going into this mark-to-market news on Thursday morning, and sure enough, the markets did not disappoint. Absolute huge rally on Wall Street today with the markets just screaming higher. You have the Dow up over 300, the Nasdaq up over 68, and the S&P is up almost 33 to 35 points here. Really 4% across the board, just huge gains. Now, what caused it? First of all, we know the G20 meeting, and this is all stuff I went over in yesterday's video, so I hope many of you guys listened and was a little cautious about today, knowing this was going to be on the horizon. Today, again, we had the G20 meeting. There's some good comments last night and this morning that were coming out of the G20, where all the countries are meeting there to discuss possible infusions to stop a world recession. In addition, you had the mark-to-market news coming out here this morning. That just was a major catalyst to creating a squeeze in this market. Now, having said that, what I will say is I'm not very bullish at these highs intraday right now. The market near term is extremely extended, absolutely extremely extended, and probably will come in maybe after making another little pierce of that 84.50 level on the spiders. You're right here at resistance on the charts, and I'll show you that. That's right up here. This is an even number or a semi-even number resistance line on the charts. Here was our secondary resistance right here at around 84.30 or so. And after that, you can see all the levels all the way down to yesterday. Yesterday, all the key levels worked out beautifully to the upside. We closed just below a major one right up here underneath 81.50. And then this morning, the gap up took us all the way above here into this resistance. This was a major resistance. This was a double top right here going back, and I'll show you that on the 60-minute. And then once you busted through that, you got into what we referred to as the Great Wall of China resistance, which basically lasts all the way up to these 84.50 level, 85 level. Anywhere in this range is a lot of resistance. We'll have to see where we close today on the daily chart. The closing numbers, the closing analysis on the daily chart, where we expect this market to go. Current trades that I've done, as I do reveal those. These are all things that we reveal in our nightly video in the Research Center, which encompasses about 5 different subscriber services into one. It's amazing stuff, guys. Very inexpensive, $49.99 a month. And again, I cover all the hardcore technicals. We go over trendline analysis, price, pattern, time. All that stuff gets covered. You'll get a good sense of where the market's going while getting educated on how to do it for yourself. Okay, what you're seeing right here, folks, again, as I mentioned, there's some resistance up here. Notice the market starting to falter a little bit. But one thing you have to remember about this market is that every pullback today has been met with more buying. And it happened the same way yesterday. Look at yesterday. Pause, pullback from a gap down, rally. Pullback, bullish flag pattern rally, bullish flag pattern rally, bullish flag pattern, little steeper here into the close. You had a pretty ugly sell candle, and then a rally all the way up to close near the highs of the day. The same thing today. Rally, pause, pullback, bull flag, rally, bull flag, and rally. So what I'm saying here is this: you can't anticipate necessarily the market will falter. I think there's a fair probability it will, knowing from my gut instincts, but you can't really go into this and say that because every pullback's been a squeezing opportunity, and they're just taking the shorts out to the woodshed. I mean, that's really the bottom line here. Amazing market activity from the lows, and this is something that's even more amazing, folks. You're talking about from the lows yesterday on yesterday's gap down to the highs here, literally 78.50 to 84.50. I mean, that's huge. 6 points on the spiders, on the SPY. Absolutely tremendous thinking about it in a percentage value. So, I mean, there's a lot of things here to remember, guys. I would just be telling you that one thing, there are a couple things I want to point out to you in this video. We're going to go into them, but these are your levels to watch. You'll have good support here at 84.30, and then the 20 moving average, which is now coinciding with this low pivot, which would be the 83.70 to 83.80 level, would be very good support on the way down. If you break that, then 83.40, right down here, this 83.40 level would be very good. All right, so all the way down, you can see here again, just to reiterate, support at 84.30, and the 20 moving average right here at 83.70 to 83.80, and then the 83.40 level right down here would be very good. On the upside, look for resistance intraday at 84.50. 84.50 will continue to be resistance, folks. If you want to see the bigger resistance picture, you're going to have to look at my 60-minute, which I'll show. Right now, we're looking at the 10-minute on the spiders, the SPY. Here's your 60-minute chart, guys. And what I did here is show you some major lines. This line right here, major resistance. How am I getting that? Let me show you this trend line. Take the low from the market going back to the 6th That was that Friday the 6th of March. And take two lines. One of them you're going to connect to this low. The other one you're going to connect to this low. If you connect this low, currently we've pierced it right up here at the highs, and that's telling me you are meeting a little other resistance as well. If you take the secondary point right here and take it all the way up, which it coincides right here, then you actually could go a little higher and touch this area right up here. Currently, it's at around 84.75 to 85. That will slope up, though. It's a very, very steep upslope. This would be my area. This is my area I'm watching intraday for a possibility of a pullback this afternoon. Anywhere in this range on the 60-minute chart looks like it could be due for a little bit of a pullback. So we'll have to continue to follow that very, very closely. All right, guys, that's your 60-minute analysis, though, and this is really what I wanted to point out on this chart. So powerful, this level right here, guys, all right? I can't stress that enough, that this should be a very, very powerful level of resistance. The only negative to it is it's sloping up so steeply that every 60-minute candle is going to make this higher and higher and let this market go higher and higher. But nonetheless, if you combine this chart with a possibility of resistance with this chart piercing, it could be in that range where it start to look at a pullback intraday, possibly into the afternoon session. Okay? So we'll continue to watch that very, very closely. Now, the other thing I want to do in this video, folks, is show you some major signals I'm also seeing about a possible market in an intraday top. Again, this doesn't necessarily imply to tomorrow. The tomorrow and the next day we'll go over in the nightly video for my subscribers. 25 to 30-minute videos every night going over gold, oil, the dollar, the markets, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, lots of different stocks, Apple, Google, you name it. We try to cover anything that's in play or major. But the important thing is this, guys, is that your Goldman chart, look at this. All right? Look at Goldman having trouble, basically gapped up, and that was the high of the day. Yes, you pierced it a couple times intraday, but this is very interesting to me. Because if you look at for divergences, really, and this is what you want to look for in the market, notice Goldman trading sideways. Let's go back to the spiders intraday. Spiders rallying to new highs. All right? Let's go to JP Morgan. JP Morgan down, falling down. The spiders breaking to new highs. So my point is this, folks, is that if financials led the market up, and granted today it's not being led by the financials, it's actually commodity plays like U.S. Steel, AK Steel, you name it. All the commodity plays are really ripping this market higher for now. Oil's up decently on the day, about 350. But the idea here is this, guys, is that ultimately these financials have been the key catalyst from the lows. Remember the lows, really at those lows, that was when Bank of America was like $253 or whatever it was at those lows. Goldman was down to $70. And then what happened? Goldman basically went up 50% or more, and Bank of America doubled, if not more, and so forth. So what I'm saying here is this. If you're going to take one thing from this video tomorrow, be on alert. Don't think this market can go up forever like this. There's something here intraday that may be worth watching. We'll have to analyze it and keep watch of it very, very closely. But nonetheless, the fact that Goldman Sachs, again, is trading like this, JP Morgan trading down like that, Wells Fargo, not pretty. There may be a sign here that we want to follow for later today into this afternoon that could be telling us maybe the market pulls back a little into the close. Alrighty, guys, we'll have to watch it and see. I mean, anything's possible. The one thing I can tell you is this is in squeeze mode. This market is in squeeze mode, even if the financials aren't participating, and that may lead us to new highs. But for the most part, it's something that I'm watching very closely, getting very, very interested in. And again, I'll update you guys on positions, whether or not I'm in any positions in tonight's video, and kind of give you guys a whole idea there. We also include the Pro Trader watch list, the nightly research report or the daily market report, hidden gems. I'll be putting that out this weekend, and many other key stuff, all in that one Research Center product. All right, folks. As always, you can always come join the chat room. We have live charts. I do the chat as well with my partner Nick Santiago, who's a chief market strategist of unbelievable proportions. Just truly a master of the markets. All right, guys. Take care. Hope to have you with us. And as always, thank you for watching these videos. Take care.